Welcome to part 3 of the 2019 Developers Question and Answer for the World of Secfenia. In this video, we're going to cover questions regarding the developer himself. So let's get down into it. Who is Zachary? Zachary is the in-game account for the World of Secfenia. The word Zachary is derived from the language that I created years ago with friends, or to interact with friends, and it means power, literally. Viceroy or the Viceroy is a nickname that I acquired back in the days of the first paper RPG, originally named Star Trip, and later rolled into the original Secfenia RPG, which I refer to now as Secfenia Age of the Viceroy to avoid any confusion with the World of Secfenia, since the two RPGs have a little bit different environments and situation. Both names are online names that have been used to reference the developer of the current game World of Secfenia. Of course, my name is Bobby. I'm the only active coder for the game. I also like to talk about myself in the third person, apparently, which is just one of those humorous things at times. Essentially, I'm someone who loves to interact with others and help create a fun environment for others to interact in. I got asked the question if I've told family and friends about the site and their reaction. Well, most of my family aren't really into gaming sites of any type other than like clickers, match games, hidden item games. We have had some of my family members play over the years. I've invited some of my friends who I thought would enjoy playing the game. They were some of the initial people who joined, um, and have joined over the years. Some still play, others have moved on due to time and other commitments. It's one of those things, ebb and flow, like a lot of things. As a general rule, family and friends have been supportive of the endeavor. Um, they know the amount of time and energy that I put into it, and usually is better seen by them by the general public. Probably the best example of that was during the server crash. They knew how feverishly I worked to get everything back up and running and didn't give up. Times where I've tried to, give a lot of time and energy to the game because it is important to me. Which that leads us to the next question. What is your work-life balance like? During the course of the World of Secfenia, I've had other jobs. It's more of a hobby than an official full-time job. We don't have a huge budget. I operate the budget based upon the money that does come in. Um, I also have other social obligations, including family health issues that do come up. Um, it is always a challenge to balance home, work, family, and the game. There are times where the game requires a lot more time than others. It's part of the reason why I've delegated some things off to the community manager, the forum manager, have the community team, and try to get more of the community in general involved in trying to keep things going. In the grand scheme of things, the game was designed to help people interact and have fun together. It's a project of love, and I really do consider it a success. We've been running publicly for over a decade now. Um, I've interacted with several administrators of other games over the past decade. Most of them are either no longer contributing to their projects or the projects were flat out shut down. Um, so I think we're doing a great job. Um, but there are definitely times where it's more of a struggle to try to do everything that I want to do for the game, as well as balance everything else as well. But because it is the project of love, I do definitely want to continue doing it until in the end it won't make sense anymore. So that kind of brings us to the evolution of code and desire. Where did I learn to do the code? My background is computer science, and I've read many different online and offline books, tutorials, and example code. And sometimes it's a trial and error trying to find the best way to do something. The biggest challenge with this code is right now it is a code base that I've expanded and expanded and expanded over the past decade. When I first started with this code, it was my first time doing any kind of PHP coding, and it's really moved on to a larger system that's working with several different technologies. The I'll touch on some more of this when we talk about the tavern later. Now, what about desire? There are times where the desire to code is stronger than others. That's why there's times where code releases are sometimes quicker than others, and then other times where they're further apart. So it's one of the things that, with any time you code for a long time on a single project, it can get a bit tedious at times, especially if there's a lot of negative feedback that comes back on different things. And the challenge of any administrator of any site is being able to work with that and move forward over an extended amount of time. So the question is then, what keeps one going? Essentially, knowing that the people enjoy the game and have built memories that will last a lifetime. There are many people who have played our game, whether they've left or not by now, who have a memory of a great interaction between them and another character on our game. And that's what makes it worthwhile. And one of the next question that I get is, what is the impact of the game on the wallets? There are a number of different things that are done to help reduce the cost of running the game. For example, the management of the server, web, email, all the back end stuff is done by myself. A lot of the services to help streamline and distribute the game are either low cost or free. We use Cloudflare for content delivery network, um, and we get contributions from the Pandora Points premium system that helps outweigh our costs. As long as this continues, there's little reason to consider the cost of the game in the long term. However, with that said, there are additional considerations that will be done to help reduce the cost over time if it's required. We'll discuss a little bit more of that in a little bit. And actually, it will be in the next part of the video, which will be part 4, which deals with in the future questions. Thanks for watching and seeing this. Again, the next part will be about some of our future plans for Secfenia.